So we're here for the week 13, 2025 NFL team schedule and the map. So I just announced I just mentioned the simulcast stations for the Friday football game and the Monday night football game on ABC. And I mentioned the announcers for the Thursday games, Thanksgiving Day games, which is no surprising. Then we have Houston, Indianapolis, most of the country. As well as Hawaii, which is no surprise there. That Houston's a feature game. We have most of the country. Houston 6-5, Indianapolis is 8-3. San Francisco got Cleveland. I'm kind of surprised that it's the feature game in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. So most of Minnesota. Some of them, like the Fargo, North Dakota area, the Sioux Falls, South Dakota area, that goes into Minnesota a little bit. Like South Dakota or North Dakota, Minnesota, that shares both. It's affiliated with the other state, but goes in, serves a good part of it, a part of Minnesota too. They are affiliated with, they go with St. Houston, Indianapolis, and a little bit of Minnesota, like you see there, Minnesota and Iowa station. They have Houston and Indianapolis as well. I would not be surprised if some of those, I know Iowa because it's the Moines area and all that. And I see Iowa. There is an Iowa, they're affiliated with an Iowa station because for Brock Purdy, he played at Iowa State, so they don't have an NFL team, so kind of that college team area market. And we have Simmons, so that's Minnesota, most of Minnesota, all of Wisconsin, all of Michigan, and then you have the Toledo, Ohio area, Cleveland, which obviously Cincinnati, all of Ohio pretty much. But then you have the Toledo, Ohio area, which I knew would go into a little bit of Michigan, but the rest of Michigan, surprised though. The Sam Arbor area in Michigan. Maybe in Detroit and Green Bay areas, maybe they're because San Francisco is a part of the playoff picture. Okay, sure, but so I'm surprised you're not sticking Minnesota with the feature game. Just Indianapolis, really am. And then we have also like all the all the NFC West viewing, all of Washington, Oregon, you have California, Arizona, except a little bit of New Mexico, or a little bit of Arizona gets New Mexico Station. That's the main affiliate. Then you have, which is kind of a regionalized. We have all of Utah, all of Idaho, all of Las Vegas, all of Nevada, which includes Las Vegas area. You have a little bit of Montana and Wyoming, not all of it, that area. Then Jacksonville, Tennessee, which goes into Augusta, Savannah, Georgia. A little bit farther out for the Jacksonville area. Augusta, Savannah, Georgia. Panama City, Tallahassee, Florida. The Orlando, Florida area for Florida. The Augusta, Savannah, Georgia areas in Florida, in Georgia. And then we have a little bit more extended team market for Tennessee fans. You have Nashville area, the Knoxville area, Memphis, Tennessee. Goes in a little bit of Arkansas and Mississippi. And then goes into Huntsville, Alabama, and a little bit of Georgia, and a little bit of Kentucky that gets those stations as well. So, then the CBS late window. Most of the country's going to see, and then, and Alaska's going to see San Francisco, Cleveland, because they always, Alaska usually goes what Seattle shows, usually, and they're going off San Francisco, Cleveland. And then, because usually Alaska's most likely fans of Seattle. Washington sports teams of Seattle, so all those Washington teams. And then we have, and then Hawaii is showing in Houston and Minneapolis. They're not going with San Francisco at Cleveland Rich. And sometimes they'd go off like LA. I think they'd go off like LA or a California team that's playing in Hawaii. But there's not. Then we have CBS Late Window, in which most of the country is going to show Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Germany, and Serum. And then same with Las Vegas at LA Chargers. It's going to show in. Then in Oregon, Eugene, Oregon, area because of Justin Herbert played for the Oregon Ducks in college. So they always had the college affiliations for players for areas that don't have like NFL teams or NFL games going on right now. And we have San Francisco. We have most of California with the game, except there's a little stretch as Buffalo, Pittsburgh. Then Reno, Nevada, and Las Vegas, Nevada, and a little bit of Arizona. That's a California station. Then Reno and Las Vegas areas. Not all of Nevada. There's a part of Nevada that doesn't get enough. It is not affiliated with a Nevada station. It can be a part that's affiliated with the Salt Lake City, Utah station. Maybe even just a thin stretch of maybe the edges of the Boise, Idaho market could be too. Or there's other markets. Like maybe like repeaters. Then most of the countries want to see Minnesota, Seattle, and Light Window, which does include Alaska and Hawaii. Like I said, that would be no surprise there. And then you see a good swap of the country with LA Rams at Carolina as well. It's kind of a split, definitely a split team market because the viewing area and like the NFC North viewing area, and then you have the NFC West viewing area, other than areas that have a game going on, the NFC West, which is like San Francisco area. Then you have the LA area doesn't, the Las Vegas area doesn't. But it's kind of like more regionalized, like West regionalized game on the West Coast. In Mountain Time, for the most part, you're getting Minnesota, Seattle, and then also areas that have like an early window game on Fox or on CBS. They're getting that one, So you have the Nashville area. They're getting that one. Yeah, the Houston area is getting that. The Indianapolis area is getting that. That's mostly of Indiana's in that one. Anyways, the Jacksonville, they're getting that. Minnesota, Seattle. You have the Cleveland area is getting that game. You have same with San Francisco, they're getting that late window game. You also have areas that are getting like a early window or late window game on Fox or CBS, the late window CBS game as their featured game. The late window CBS game as their featured game, like the Las Vegas area is which for so that's why they're showing it's kind of the featured game in the Fox signal. Same with that. Well, obviously the LA Rams doesn't matter for that area. Then the Buffalo areas, the Pittsburgh areas, and all that, they're getting the featured early window game because they have to for that. Because since their local team is in CBS and Lightning. And obviously we take away from the Fox game as well. And then you have a little stretch of Houston, Nashville, Jacksonville, like I said, a little stretch of Connecticut goes in a little bit of Massachusetts there. I don't know if that's like someone from Minnesota or Seattle is playing in that game. There's also such a Peoria, Illinois or team that gets earlier. I'm screen. Maybe someone for that's one of those two teams plays. Is from there or went to college or something. Not sure. And then we have most of Colorado getting that game. Minnesota Seattle. There's the Colorado Springs area. I reckon that. And there's a little bit in Missouri. I guess that game a little bit of Kentucky. So big stretch, big swath of the country. And the biggest swath of the country also gets, as you can see right there, all the areas that get that game. Then we start to get down to like the low areas, like the low game areas. And then Mean Degrees is the second, is going to be the third tier mountain screw. They're going to get the national single window, early window game. And we have, and then Atlanta New York Jets is in the New York City area, the Hartford, Connecticut area, the Albany, New York area. And that's it. That is it. And then in that up there, we have Huntsville, Alabama. And then it goes in a little bit of Tennessee. And then the Atlanta area. Obviously, of Georgia. And then it goes in Augusta, Savannah, Georgia. It goes a little bit of South Carolina. And there's not all of Georgia, but most of Georgia. It has affiliated with the Georgia station. And the Jacksonville area station. Obviously, it's going to get Mississippi. It goes a little bit of Georgia. And then Arizona, Tempe. A little bit of Georgia gets a Tallahassee station, Florida station, main affiliate. And they're going to show you Arizona, Tampa Bay. And then you got Tampa Bay, Fort Myers, Orlando. Then you got the Arizona station. And then we'll have a little bit of California that gets an Arizona station. I say a little bit of Arizona gets a California station, but it's actually a dual station. Main affiliation is with Arizona, is in Arizona, but it has a little bit of a dual affiliation with them. It goes and it sends a little bit of California reach for viewers as well. So it shows Arizona mainly. Then it will also show those stations in that market. Will also show them names for the LA fan, the California fans, as its second affiliation on a certain channel. And then we have most of Arizona, and then there's a little bit of Arizona. They get to New Mexico station. They don't get that game. And then we have the Oklahoma City, the Tulsa, Oklahoma area, a little bit of Georgia, or a little bit, just a tiny little bit of Kansas. Most of not all of Oklahoma gets that, but the Oklahoma City and Tulsa areas do. That's assuming because Baker Mayfield went to college, played for Oklahoma in college. So Oklahoma is getting, so that's what I would assume. Then we have New Orleans and Miami, and that is just the West Palm Beach, the Miami, Florida areas. You have the Louisiana, and then there's a little bit of Texas that gets Louisiana stations, and then a little bit of Oklahoma, and then Arkansas, and then Mississippi. Most of Mississippi, except for Memphis area, Tennessee area, they get a in Mississippi. There's a little bit of that. They get some Memphis, Tennessee station, and then Mobile, Alabama areas, the Panama City, Florida area, and then there's a Mobile, Alabama station. It goes in a little bit, there's a little bit. Then we have the rest of Alabama, and then we have the rest of Alabama again, and then North Carolina, and then so that is it. So it's a good bit of the country. If you live on like the West Coast, if you live in like the Pacific time zone, or you live in the Mountain time zone, for the most part, you're getting Minnesota, Seattle. Or if you live in the NFC North viewing area, for the most part, you're getting Minnesota. You're getting Minnesota, Seattle in the NFC North view area for the most part, and then for the Sunday teamwork area, or if you live in the Mountain Time Zone or Pacific Time Zone, for the most part, not always. New Mexico's not most. Some of Colorado's not. Las Vegas, and then, but if you live in those areas, you're getting like a late window the game on CBS, like the LA, like the Las Vegas area. And then you're getting the early window game on Fox, like earlier in South Carolina. And then LA, and then so it doesn't matter for the Rams because like the Rams and the Chargers or the Jets and Giants when they're in 2-6 shows, they overrule that, so they'll get a late window. They'll get an early window game on 2 channels. When in the single windows on 1, if they're in the single window and the early window, 1 channel. They might be both playing the same time on 2 different channels. And even if it's the opposite channel, one was playing and it's a single window, the opposite one of the channels is a single window. It doesn't matter, for those stations they overrule it because fans of both areas they don't want to see either or game, so that fans see either or team, which makes sense. So yeah. But sometimes they will follow the single window rules, depending on what time the game is and where the game is. It's being played, like on the road, in an area that's not like, so just depends, or if it's LA Rams at LA Chargers, or if it's, who knows. So. Yeah, that's it for the Fox single and then the CBS early and late in the Fox single. Fox single. Once I saw Joe Davis Gregoson, like, is it going to be Joe Davis? Is it going to be a split? It's kind of like a split. I would say a big split, good split, and then you have. Then you just have a few pockets of the other games that Fox has to show, or Fox is showing. They're just showing there's a few pockets of each game spread out throughout the country for the local fans in the area, in the areas of those teams.